YouTube, YouTube. I'm gonna come up here. I got a little time. I'm just getting off, but today is my cheat day, so I'm here. I'm waiting at the window at McDonald's. There we go. Thank you, baby.
Excuse me.
I appreciate you. Look at it. Okay. Yes. No. No.
Yes. Okay.
I don't hope I'm. Yes.
See.
Thank you, baby. Appreciate you. I got. I'm going to run into somebody. Listen, I had to. It's my cheat day today, so I'm at McDonald's getting me something to eat, honeys. Come on, we're gonna go to the park. Y'all gonna ride with me for a minute. We're gonna go to the park. I want to talk about something. I will be on TikTok tonight. At 9 o'clock. I think TikTok is still going to be going strong. So, I will be over there on TikTok tonight doing a live. It was real. It was really real today. Let me see. I'm gonna turn around because today my cheat day. So I'm cheating right now with my food. I'm gonna go to the park. I want to go to the park. But anyways, we're gonna talk about something, and this message is gonna go deep. And now I feel like I can go very deep. And if you watch me on the replay, hey, I don't know how the algorithm going. The algorithm don't push my stuff out as well as it's supposed to. But we're not gonna worry about that. But if you do see my video on the replay, just know it's the algorithm because I didn't get a live today. I had did a live 2 days ago, and the algorithm pushed my live out to me because I subscribed to my own channel just to see how the algorithm go. They didn't push that live out to me until 2 days later, and I looked at the live today, and I can pull it up on my email as soon as I go to the park and I talk about it. So I know y'all probably, whoever get notifications on my live, just know that my lives come out very late. It's the algorithm, but it's okay because I already know the Almighty probably got it delayed for a reason. I never worry if it reach anybody. If it don't reach y'all on time, it's not meant to reach anybody on time. But I want to talk about something that this is something that I held a lot in my heart, and I just didn't I didn't speak about it until now, which now I got to just bring everything out. And I'm gradually doing so because of my healing, and now that I can live with what happened to me throughout my awakening. And I will be telling y'all some energetic, telepathic, spiritual things, because the things that I lived as I've been on this journey, now I understand it's all been energetically, spiritually, telepathically. um and there are real demons out here. Demons are really real. I want y'all to understand that demons are really real. Satan is really real. I have a spiritual eye to see the spiritual realm. I know I'm not normal, even though I talk normal. But I have to be very sacred. But today I'm cheating. I say I'm gonna eat me some. I went and got me some McDonald's food, honey. I've been really I had my little slim fast over here today. I was like, I'm on this my cheat day. So my cheat day, I'm gonna get me some McDonald's to eat, which I just got McDonald's to eat. And some sweet tea. I'm gonna do some sugar today. I did eat light earlier. I had a Maria's aged cheddar broccoli. Oh, that dinner was good. I love their dinners. But for dinner, I said I wanted me some McDonald's. So this is what I'm gonna eat on. Now, as soon as I get to the park, I'm going through the little downtown area right now. Through the town of Easton. This is where I be at all the time. They out here having a good time, honey. On Fridays, they come out here. I want y'all to see how they look. This is when, man, hold on. Look, they sit downtown and they just eat dinner all the time. Look at that. They just sit out there and eat. That's something I love to do. I love to I love to eat. This little area right here, you know, you just sit and you sit to yourself. And I know so many people downtown, so you know it's all good. But this is what I like. I like to do. I like to eat. I like to go out, especially on weekends. I take myself out a lot. Now it's another movie I'm waiting to come out. It's supposed to come out this weekend, so I'm waiting for that. I'm just a thing. I have a thing for horror movies, and I know people be like, "Oh, you Christian, you know, I don't want to hear that. It can't. Satan can't scare me no more. Satan can't make me feel. I gotta get this fly out of here. Satan, and what I mean by scare me no more, Satan just can't. Whatever he tried through other people, it just don't phase me no more because I know very well. So this is what I want to talk about. Um, but I had put some pictures up on my post, and just to tell people to tonight join me on TikTok at 9 o'clock. I will be on TikTok at 9. Just join me up there. That's one thing I love about TikTok algorithm. I don't know how YouTube is wired, but YouTube is weird because I see some channels. It's just over here. They want to do however they want to do it, and I'm not feeling YouTube some days. I'm not gonna front, but I'm gonna just be consistent over here regardless. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna front about it because the algorithm over here is slow. It's very slow, but I mean I'm not gonna worry about it, but I'm just tired of the way it's moving, which I know it's a reason. So I'm just trying to be patient, even though I've been patient this whole time. But I know it's a reason. But anyways, I want to talk about something as soon as I part. Okay, I got to eat some of my fries. My fries, I think they gave me the bone. I think so, but I'm not gonna fries. I'm not gonna fuss. I don't fuss anyway. I'm not gonna let it bother me, but I think she's getting the wrong food. But it's a double. Yeah, that's the sandwich. I'm gonna eat it. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for this food. I appreciate you. I got my window down so I can hear cars beside me. I'm at the stoplight. Then I talk. I'm gonna get into depths about what I'm saying. This is a cheat day. So I got me a McDouble French fries and then throw me some chicken nuggets in there. So I got chicken nuggets, French fries, a little bit of everything up in here. The park is back open, so we're going to the park. I'm going to the park. I love the park. They were doing some construction over here, so I had to back out for a while. And now they got the park back open, so we coming to the park. Ooh. Not right there. We won't. Hold on. Whoa. The sun is setting. Wait a minute. Give me a minute. I'm gonna have to back up. Hold on. But the sun is setting, so I can't sit there with that sun in my face like that. Give me a minute, but I am at the park. I love the park. That's another thing, y'all. And I'm losing my arms about to back. Look, I'm trying to work on these arms. You heard me. Can I get you there? take the seatbelt off. Hold on. Pray y'all can see me. Because I'm backing up. It's a fly in here, so please work with me in this fly. This fly in here, and I don't know where he's going. I don't like flies. I'd be glad when the fall really kick in, where they get scared and they go back home somewhere. Oh, all right, y'all. I got my food. Give me a second. But if y'all see me on replay, like I said, tonight I'll be on TikTok at 9 o'clock until oh, hey sis, how you doing? You had a good protein dinner? God provided a good meal today. Oh, I know that's right. I'm cheating today. The day cheat day for me. I said I'm getting me some McDonald's, and I went and got me a sweet tea. I love sweet tea, but I haven't had it. Well, I had one last night, but I didn't finish it all. But I haven't had this sweet tea right here. I'm gonna finish it because I'm at the gym. So 4 days out of the week, maybe tomorrow and Sabbath I fast, so I don't eat too much of anything on Sabbath, if it's anything at all. I would probably drink some liquid. I do a lot of liquid drinking on Saturdays, but it's normally 4 days a week. I do slim fast and some fruit and eat some of these. That's my diet time, and I do that 4 times a week. But Friday, Saturday, well, Saturday is a fasting day. I just sit and meditate in my energy spiritually, worship Daddy in spirit and in truth, and try to rest. But I still do work, and I still do speak on the platforms, but I try to get into his rest, meaning in his spirit. But on Sundays, if I'm, feeling good, I eat. But normally on Fridays, I definitely cheat. I definitely do the cheat. But and that was my daughter today, sis. That's the like. But that was my daughter, and I put it in a sequence for a reason. I put me at the beginning because a lot of people always mistaken me and her sisters, because that's just how we used to be back in the day. Very loving, very kind, very caring, very giving daughter she was. I taught her how to be all of that. But it's a catch to it. I'm trying to see if I can find, because I can't see y'all the way I want to see y'all. Give me a minute. Oh. Y'all had fish, like tater tots. Ooh! Oh, man. Now that right there, that sounds like a winner. Who cooked it? Your job or? I'm trying to find a way to get out of this sun. You should see me wrestling with this right here. I wish I could stay just like this, because I'm gonna do it. Hold on. I'm gonna do it just like this. Yep. We had fish fillets, tater tots, garlic butter, long green beans. I'm gonna tell you right now, I love me some green beans. Good grief, you give me some good old green beans. Where you get that from? Applebee's? Baby red potatoes and Asian melon with melody with broccoli, carrots, and baby corn. With a sweet tea. Oh my goodness, that sounds like 25 winners. Oh, I love me some green beans. I can eat them by itself. If I can go, I go to Texas Roadhouse or Applebee's, and they had them long green beans, and they're being garlic or asparagus. Them are my 2 number 1 veggies. I love me some asparagus and green beans. And some loaded potatoes with sour cream on it. Oh my goodness. But today I'm eating fast food. I'm scared to death because I'll be, like we said, we be eating human remains in these hamburgers. Today I'm just go down and eat some human remains. Awesome. Okay. Oh man, you did some good cooking, honey. Mm-mm-mm. I be glad when whenever the Almighty open up, and believe me, I got so much to tell y'all about this journey. I now can help a lot. Now I can say a lot that I had to heal. I really had to heal. That's why I didn't go to the gym until after I was equipped to heal. Because if I was still wounded, going to the gym, I would have been stressed out and losing weight all at the same time, and it would have came back on me. So I wanted to make sure I was healed good enough to go to the gym and maintain a balance between, my healing and my workout. So now I'm ready to talk about some real deep stuff. Um, y'all just hold on tight. And some things may shock you, some things may not. But I'm very spiritual. And now I'm in my full purpose. I can't have it no other way. But I want to talk about my journey. And I put my daughter up there for a reason. She's not up there because I want y'all to, you seen her, but y'all thought it was me too. But no, the first one was me. And the other 4 was her. And the last one is where you seen where that was her last week here on earth. That last picture was her last week on earth. Her flesh. But spiritually, it was Satan. And I want to go deep about something, and I want to talk about that. So if you don't have I need y'all to go into the energy right now, because it might make y'all feel a certain way, but I'm healed from it and I can talk about it. But I gave them other 4 pictures when her father first passed away, to when she started going downhill. And that showed the other one with the red braids in her hair is when she stole my Jeep. When it was in an apartment in Fayetteville, North Carolina, she stole my Jeep. And that's when she had took that picture, because I had erased all the pictures. And I kept some pictures in my phone, but I went and the Almighty needed to clear out everything. So I had to let go of the past. So the little bit of stuff that I got, I got, but I have to really let go all the pictures of my past, because of my new future that he's about to bless me with. So, I was being very obedient about it. But this is more, I'm going to talk about it too on TikTok. But on here I can get really, I ain't got to worry about my words too tough, because I don't have bad words. But, TikTok is very sensitive, but they've been being really good. But anyways, before my daughter passed away, she was I taught my kids how to be loving and caring and kind. I try to teach them things that I didn't get taught, which I didn't get taught much of nothing. I mean, much of nothing. Much of nothing. And as I've been riding today, I've been in the spirit talking to the Almighty energetically, telepathically. That's how we communicate. But whenever I say in the spirit, because communication is with energy and frequencies. And you won't be able to tap into that until you are fully awakened, and life itself will bust your heart open to that point in life. And I loved in my kids, which I didn't understand love, but I understand love now. Love is a frequency. It's an energy. And it's something that is telepathic. It's not a physical form. I got a fly in here. It's not, oh, it's a big one too. I don't like flies. I just don't like them. Get out. You can fly over here. I have to talk to it, y'all. Excuse me. Get over there. I went and took an order to a house, and they had all these dogs and all that dog poop and stuff. I don't see people that got dogs and stuff they can't take. And then, that's what flies love. Get out. But, anyways. Okay, give me a minute. Cause this fly right here, and I can't stand them. Give me a second, work with me. Go ahead, babe. Go out the window. But anyways, now I understand energies and frequencies very much. This flesh suit doesn't get it for me, because loving off of this energy with your flesh means walking by sight. That means you loving from Satan's point of view. And a lot of people love from brokenness. Hold on. I told him. A lot of people love from brokenness. And I love my children from brokenness. But I had the energy of the Almighty all my life. So the energy that I was giving my kids was actually keeping my kids afloat. When the Almighty had me to depart from my children in 2019, it devastated me at first, because I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the awakening. I didn't understand leaving my children behind. And my son first got locked up in 2018. This is no lie. When I love you, I love strong if you want to mind. Or if we together, I'm going to love you unconditionally. You're not going to go undone. You're not going to feel an ounce of left out. You're not going to feel rejected. You're not going to feel abandoned. And I'm going to show up to to everything, every part in my body, I'm going to show up. So that's how it was with my children. No matter what they did, I always was there. Many days I felt like I was going to just have a stroke, or I'm going to pass out, because the energy, Satan was going through their vessels to attack me because of my anointing. They didn't understand that they were being used by Satan. They just knew that it was the addictions that they had opened that portal to from their father passing away. They got into these heavy addictions, as I told y'all before: cocaine, crack, heroin, and pills. And I never seen my kids drink too much, but that night that my son got taken away, that party that they had thrown while I was in Pigeon Forge in the mountains, he didn't want to go, so he wanted to stay behind and go into the hold on, y'all. This fly right here, I'm gonna tell it, but this fly, I gotta see what it's finna do. I gotta get this thing. Ow! I'm scared. I don't like insects. I just don't like them. Get out. And he a fat one too. I know he got babies. And I'm like, ow! He went out, y'all. He gone. I'm sorry. And I'll tell you the reason why I don't like flies. And then I'll go back to my spiritual testimonies. The reason why I don't like flies, I was at the age of 7 years old. And I told y'all that my mother was very, very abusive. She just didn't have much energy to do anything for us. So one day my brother had a dog. His name was King. And he passed away. So nobody knew where this dog died at. But the dog died under the house. And it was raining. I never forget it. It was raining. And y'all know the process of a dog dying. And it was summertime. And we was eating, and I never forget the hot candle talks. I never forget, was sitting in the kitchen eating, and it was raining. And all we saw were these little maggots from the baby flies all on the windowsill, crawling all on the windowsill. And back then, you know, they had the wooden windowsills. And they were coming inside the house, and we were screaming. I was like, those are maggots. And the flies were laying and lay their babies. And I'm like, the flies is laying in babies, and they're the little maggots. And ever since then, it turned me off to flies. And it took me a while to eat, because I'm like, they were so bad. The dog had swelled up under the house, and maggots had sat in the dog and was eating the dog. Y'all know how to process it. But the maggots needed somewhere, so they climbed up all in the back of the house. I mean, thousands of them. I was like, we doomed. What is we gonna do? And I haven't liked flies ever since. And it turned my stomach because I know, the maggots, even though they're babies, but maggots only grow off of dead things. You maggots is only around, flies lay their babies in dead things. So when I see a fly, even though ain't nothing dead around, I just don't like it because of when I was 7 years old. But anyways, let's go back to my message. I can talk about it now, and I wasn't going to talk about it until I was ready and healed and ready to share this. But I'm sharing it in energy. I don't need y'all to look at it as that's my daughter or that was my son's. We talking energies now. I definitely have to stay with energies because that's how I move now, and I understand why all of this now had to take place. But my daughter and my son, my oldest son was up here. Like I say, he left me at the age of 15. So I didn't raise him anymore at the age of, and at the age of 15, he no longer stayed in my household. He never returned back. So I would see him when I come home. That was the reason why a lot of times I travel over the highways, is to see my son. But anyway, my children was turned out before I knew that they were turned out. One thing about loved ones, I was in love with my children so bad I was blinded to the truth. My daughter, when her father passed away, I never forget when we were here in Maryland, because he had to get buried in my hometown. It wasn't his hometown. He just moved there. They were from Wilmington, Delaware. I was from Maryland. But he came back to Cambridge, Maryland, which is my hometown. And that's where he died at. And the reason why he left South Carolina is because when I left him, he tried to take my life and terminate me because he had in his head, if I can't, nobody can. So he wasn't going to allow me to move forward. He put witchcraft on me for a long time where I couldn't break through that witchcraft at all. I'm going to talk about it now. And I always would come back to him. I had the urge of wanting to leave him, but it was just this to stay with him. And I knew in my soul didn't want to be with him, but my flesh wouldn't move. And they did a lot of witchcraft in that family. So his father used to always say, well, in the year of, I never forget, he said in the year 2002, y'all all gonna split up. And I'm like, why is he saying that? But that whole time, my kid's father would dabble in witchcraft, which I never seen it, but he would, do some things behind my back, and a lot of stuff came out now that was told to me. The Almighty exposed it. So even when he was dying, he had that vengeance against me to want me to die as well as he died. And he used to get on the phone and be like, you ain't sick. Like he would do things to try to make me sick. He would do things to try to ruin my relationship. He would just do things. But the witchcraft wouldn't work on me. And I knew some days that, I wasn't feeling well, or when my oldest son came down and I had to go through a surgery, my first child came down and I had to go through surgery for a partial hysterectomy, which got my uterus out. He came in the room, and I never forget, it was so aggressive. I was really out of it. And they had put me on a drip. The drip is to keep you, because they had cut me. I had took the gas, which I should have took the IV, but I went being hard-headed and took the gas. And when I woke up, I could feel every cut that they did. It was painful. It was out of this world. And my oldest son had came down, and he wanted some money. And I was like, what made you come this far from Maryland, which would be 500 and some miles away, and you know you got to go back home, why would you have just only a certain amount of money to get here? And when you get here, you want me now to get, this is why I'm in the hospital bed. You want me to give you a certain amount of money to get back home. When I tell y'all, he went bananas in that hospital room. I mean, he always had that. My oldest son always had that overbearing, because his father had brainwashed him and planted those type of seeds within him. See, this is what generational lineage happens when one parent is extremely dark and the other parent is like, I was always shielded. The Almighty would have he never allowed things to really happen, but things had to happen. And my son was just like his father, very overbearing, very egotistical, very, very aggressive. So in my head, I'm looking at him like his father now, like, yeah, you look like your dad, you just like your dad, and he was angry. But he was angry because he was dabbling in some things, but he wouldn't talk about it. And this is what loved ones would do. And my children was part of being my loved ones. Now, me and my oldest son never had that real mother and son connection. We just couldn't connect energetically. We just couldn't. I gave it all I could. But see, being as though that's what his father wanted, that child, and his father used to always have him under his wing and just doing things, just always taking time up with him, but not knowing he is instilling and grooming him to attack me the whole time. So them demons that was on my kid's father, he instilled and planted those type of seeds in my oldest son, which my oldest son looked at me as a monster. Like, he really looked at me like I was just this witch. I mean, it's no other way I can put it. So I got to eat some of this burger, because once it gets cold, I know I ain't gonna like it. So I went through that for a long period of time. And this is messy. Y'all, it don't taste right, but I'm going to put it and make my stomach sick. I got to be real slow with this conversation, because it's really devastating to talk about it, but this is the only way I can heal and get it off my chest and let it go and close the cycle. So all my life, from him being a little boy to an adult, his daddy had it where he can set him up to attack me, to mess up my relationships, just to do what he wanted him to do. He had him very brainwashed. But my other two, my daughter was in between. She loved her father, and she also loved her mother. But she was also brainwashed to a point, too, where she just gave me a lot of problems, because her dad would take her and, instill negativity in their heads about me. Because whenever you leave somebody that is very dark, even though I was dysfunctional, I would never hurt anybody. But when they are very dark, when you have the energy that keeps them afloat, they would try to terminate you off of earth. My kid's father could not fathom that I had the power to walk out of a marriage that he had a lot of control over by witchcraft. He couldn't understand how I defeated witchcraft. I didn't understand it, but I knew that last time when I broke out, it felt like a big, heavy, dark weight lifted off of me when I left the last time. That's when he tried to kill me, like literally tried to kill me. He tried to kill me on 2 occasions. And I mean, when I say kill, I mean take me for real out of here. And the first one is when I left that night and I never came back home. I didn't want him no more. It was like I was delivered from that whole marriage. And when I got home that morning, he was in the kitchen waiting for me. And when I turned the key to go inside the house, I never forget it. He had our last child. He was only 8 months old in his arm. And I never forget, he gave me my son. And my oldest son was like, yeah, we're going to take you out. And my oldest son always would go by what he said. He said, yeah, we finna take you out. And I'm standing there. I'm like, go in your room. And my kid's father was like, you don't tell him to go in his room. So my daughter like, mom, she holding on to my leg. And I never forget, I'm holding my baby boy in my arm, my child that's in prison. And my ex deceased husband, he reached across and hit me, bam, in my lip. And I start bleeding. And then I was like, I told my 8-month-old baby, I told my daughter, I said, hold him, because I already know. So by the time I put him down, he took a chair. We had big old wooden chairs at the kitchen table. He took a chair and he hit me across my head with it. And that's how I had got that split in the back. So I'm there bleeding. I'm like, oh, all of this over because I don't want to be with you anymore. You're my wife and can't nobody else have you. And I'm not gonna let you leave me. I mean, he was die hard on the demon had got so crucial. It wasn't my kid's father anymore or my husband. It was Satan appearing within him because he was in a lot of dark portals. His attitude was dark, witchcraft, all of that stuff. These are demonic portals. So I runs out the back because we had a trailer that we owned. I ran out the back of the trailer into the next door neighbor house. And I was like, y'all, I got to call the police because he had snatched all the phones out the walls and everything. So I couldn't do nothing. So I took off running. I ran to the next door neighbor house. Knocked on the door. They let me out. I said, I need to call the police. I said, lock the door, lock the door. He gonna come in. He come in while I'm on the phone. I did get the police. The number, it was Penderboro Road, Marion, South Carolina. And I did get the police on the phone. All we heard was boom. He had killed people during. This is why it's very important. When I give my message, believe me, I give my messages from a lot of pain that I had to endure growing up. Okay, give me a minute. Let me talk about it. That's why I don't tolerate nothing. Nothing. So he busts in the house. I'm on the phone. That murdering demon was so strong. He took the phone off of my, and I was probably I weighed about 145 pounds tops. He took the phone out of my ear. The next door neighbors, they were scared of him. They ran behind I can laugh about it, but they ran behind the countertop. They were scared. They were scared. And I was like, I'm not scared of you. And he hit me in my temple, knocked me down. He didn't knock me out. He knocked me down. My kid's father wore a size 13 and a half shoe. He had on boots. And as I'm down on the floor, by the time I could get back up, he took that 13 and a half boot and put it in my neck right here in this area. And I mean, when I tell you he had all of his power, and you know your legs are powerful. This man is a 300, and at that time he was 315. And he had so much pressure in my throat, and I'm trying to figure a way to get that boot up off of my throat because he would, and I mean, he was looking down at me. He was like, die, I want you to die. I mean, like, he really wanted me out of here. And I'm looking down like, and he looking down at me like the eyes were just super black, like die. He wanted me gone. And somehow I managed to get that boot. I don't know how, but I know how now. The Almighty is something serious through the vessel. That 13 and a half, and this man he was standing on me, not holding me down. He's standing on my throat. Like, I mean, I could feel this part right here caving in and my breath, I mean, my face just turning. And it's somehow I just got this boot off my neck. And when I got the boot off my neck, on my way, standing up, I'm getting up and I'm about to take off. And all I felt was just major punches in the back of my head. Bam, bam, bam. I just felt major punches as I'm walking out. There's no lie, I'm bloody. I mean, blood everywhere. I seen a funeral home van coming down that back road. Now, we lived in the country. That was right on time for me to jump in this van, this funeral home van, It wasn't no dead body in it. I don't think. I can't remember. But I jumped in it. And I said, go. He said, oh, man, we got to take you to the hospital. And I always dodged the hospital. I said, no, don't worry about the hospital. Take me to my homegirl house. And I'm going to tie into some things about, and just keep in mind, her name was Nicole. That was my kid's father, brother, wife, which left his brother as well. But his brother wasn't as violent as he was. His brother was a guy that held his reputation. So he wasn't the guy that put his hands on his wife. But my kid's father, he just couldn't get by that I'm leaving. This is why it's important not to let these people have power over you. And I'm not saying people are demons in the vessels. We talking energy now. So I jumped in and I got to her house, and I knocked on the door, and I'm telling you, I'm bloody. I'm just, my back is bloody from where he busted me in my head with the chair. My lip is bloody. My neck was purple where I thought he had crushed my throat. So I went to the hospital, and they bandaged me up, and they had gave me some butterfly stitches back here, which, the hair grew back, but it's not, all the way good. And I got a dent. If y'all can't feel it, but if I feel in my head, in the area up here, I can feel where my skull had a little crushing. So I'm thinking I'm doomed. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have, people would say you're gonna get cancer when you get to age 50. You took a lot of beating from that man, which I did. So as I got stronger coming through it, because at the age of 14, I met him, and at the age of 28, that's when I left him. So I took a lot going through it with this man, physically. Even though I would fight him back, the only thing would make this man run or get up off of me is if I had a knife and I cut him. I had to cut my kid's father on several occasions, and when I cut him, he would run. I mean, that cutting it's something about cutting them demons. It's like you cut them. It's like you release some demons from him. I don't know what it was, but when I cut him, he gone. He struck a. Pew. He got nervous. He got afraid of me, and I'm like, ooh. He fears. At first, I didn't believe this man had fear in him, and I didn't have fear, but it's just the anger. His anger was top tier. When he got angry, he wanted to just take you out. But that's how Satan was using through him. To me. See, it was all about me going through this journey with these folks. He tried to use my mom to stop me. He tried to use my uncles to stop me. See, all of these wounds were supposed to crush me for this very important time, for this season right here. Even though I endured some real massive abuse, Satan couldn't stop me. That's why I'm such a threat to this world. But anyways, my oldest son, I moved to her house. This after he tried, that's the first attempt that he tried to take me out. So then he called me 2 weeks later. Siobhan, the kids need shoes, because I left the kids with him. I knew one thing he wasn't going to do. He wasn't going to hurt the kids. I always knew that he loved those kids. He wasn't going to hurt them. So, and those kids was used to bring me back in. So he said, Siobhan, the kids need shoes. I was at work. I was like, they do? I was like, you can't get them no shoes. Well, I ain't working. He quit working everything. He quit his job and everything. This is how determined demons are through a vessel that is available for them to use. I mean, I when I tell y'all I went through some real mean stuff with people, I went through some stuff that demons would crush you, and I'm still here. So I was like, well, where we going to meet up? Because I'm not coming back to that house. I'm not coming back. You would never plot on me and finish me off. He was like, well, Siobhan, come on. I promise you I won't hit you. Here go my stupid self. I'm like, he might take me out, but I'm going to go because I want to see my kids. So in my head, I'm like, I'm going to see my kids. I'm not praying anymore. And because, I told you his parents and stuff was in church. I'm not caring about prayer anymore. I'm like, man, that stuff don't work. Because if this man take me out, I'm going to see my kids. I'm going to take my chance to go see my kids. So I get back in there. He want to hug on me. He want to kiss on me. So I'm like, I'm going to have to let him kiss on me. I'm going to have to let him hug on me. I don't care what it is. I'm going to do whatever I got to do because I'm getting ready to leave. So I was like, I'm leaving. Everybody know I'm here. He was like, well, the police looking for you. I was like, the police looking for me for what? Because I ain't did nothing. So he tried to use the girl that I hit her in the head with a hammer. He tried to use that situation, making me feel like the police trying to lock me up. They'll do anything. They'll do anything to stop you. So I'm like, well, they're gonna have to catch me. I was like, what, you gonna call the police on me? So he's watching my movement. And I never and I sit and think about a lot of this stuff sometimes. And he watching my movement. And I'm like, I want to see the babies. So he was like, come lay in the bed with me. I was like, what am I laying in the bed? And I was like, Siobhan, keep it smooth. Because any wrong move, this man can tick. When they're ticking time bombs like that, you really just have to be humble. Because I wanted to see my kids and play like I was in fear because my life was in danger. Because any wrong mood or anything I would have said to him, it would have set him off. He would have took me out for real. So he was like, lay on the bed with him. I'm laying on the bed with him. Hey, what you want me to do? So then he wanted to touch on me. Now he want to be romantic. Now he wanna cuddle. Now he just want to kiss on me. Okay, I'm gonna go for it, dude. In my head, I'm like, do what you do, cause I'm gone. After I go, I'm gone. I had a car and everything by then. So he kissing on me and he doing whatever, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm disgusted, but I'm like, I gotta see my kids and I got to face him, but I just gotta play dumb to this situation. He started doing things that he should have been did. I didn't want it now. It's over for you now. You're not gonna use what I've been asking for. We need to make a difference with each other. You know, you going your way, I'm going my way. We're not really showing emotions to each other. You know, we fussing, we arguing, you're controlling, you're overbearing, you're physical. I was like, I can't live like this. So he was like, I'm sorry. Oh, he humbled down to a baby. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, well, I'm going to come by tomorrow. I was like, here go the money for the kids' shoes. I will be by tomorrow and pick the kids up and you can bring them to me so they can spend time with me because, you know, I had my own room or whatever. And Nicole, she didn't care. We was all family anyways. So he asked me, he said, is you seeing anybody? I was, but I didn't tell him that. Because I know if I had told him yes, I would have never made it out that house alive. Give me a second. I pray my little burger's still tasty. Because when these McDonald's burgers get cold, they nasty. Okay. So I go, to it. So I told him no. I said, I ain't saying nobody. I'm just trying to get myself together, but I lied. I did lie. Because I already knew if I said yeah, y'all would have never seen me ever again. So he was like, what time you coming back tomorrow? I was like, after I get off of work, which I was working third shift. He was like, you can take the car. I was like, I'm good. I got a ride. He was like, who taking you? I was like, I got Nicole's car, which I had, her car. He was like, you can take your car. I was like, no, because both our names was on it. I was like, no, don't worry about it. You need it for the kids. Y'all down here in the country. He was still trying to tag something to me to make me come back. I knew the game also well. I didn't fall for it. I walked out the house. He was like, we'll come see you tomorrow, okay? I was like, yeah, he knew now he messed up. He can feel that the energy has shifted. I'm gone for good. He can, believe me, energetically, masculine men can feel the shift between the feminine. And it's not about the patterns. It's about the energy. They know when that energy leave them, they're, hi, Miss Candace. How you doing, sunshine? When that energy leave them, they already know it's over. Believe me, they can feel that energetic shift. So I went back to the house. I was getting ready for work that night because I did third shift. My friend that I'm going to the situation, but I'm going to just say the friend that I was dealing with at the job, he would come over to the house. So the next morning, it was on a Saturday. He said, me and the kids going to come by. The kids want to see you. I was like, all right, let me get myself together and get dressed up and I come get them. He was like, no, we bring them. He was like, I'm going to bring them now. I was like, no, don't bring them now. Just give me time to get up and send, I'll check them out somewhere. He already had stalked the house and seen that it was another car there, which my friend had a white car. So he was already stalking the house. He had a homeboy that sat at the edge of the trailer park that we was in Mullins, South Carolina. It was a like a dead end where you can sit there and you can see who come out of those a lots. They call lots, trailer lots. So this Saturday, I'm like, okay, me and my friend, he stayed overnight. We're coming out the house. I never paid attention to that car down to the dead end because there'd be so many cars and I never seen that car before. So me and him by the car, he pulls up. He said, "Oh, I thought you wasn't seeing anybody." Y'all, my heart went to my back. You heard me? I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I thought you didn't have nobody." He told him, he said, "You know, that's my wife, right?" And his name was Greg. He said, "Y'all ain't together though." He was like, "When she stayed overnight with you, we were together. We were living together." So I'm looking at Greg. I'm like, "We'll talk about it later." He was like, "Siobhan, this is serious stuff." He said, "Siobhan, I knew you was with him, but were y'all together?" I said, "We were living together," which we wasn't doing anything, but it was still a day issue. So I was explaining to him, and my kid's father was like, "I got your number. I got you. Watch your back." He told me watch my back. So I told my friend, I was like, "Listen, don't come back over here." He was like, "I'm not scared of him." He's like, "If y'all ain't together, y'all ain't together. Just because he want you not to move forward or he don't want you to move forward, I'm not leaving." I say, "You sure?" The reason why I was saying this because being with him so long, and this will happen. When you've been with a man that is abusive, that's physically abusive, verbally abusive, very overbearing, very egotistical, very prideful. He had major demons on him. You would end up feeling in your mental that nobody can beat him. Nobody is tough enough to fight him because he always beat up everybody or he always knocked out people. So in my head, I'm like, the way I was looking at the friend, I'm like, 300 and some pounds, you only like a solid 200, in my head. In my head. I'm like, he's 315, you only about a solid 200. What can you do? Not knowing. But I'm just wondering, my head is up in his head because he was mentally trying to take me out and he's very physical abusive. And I knew I had a good fight game, but I couldn't beat that man. That man was 315 pounds and that man was strong, strong. So I'm looking at my friend and I'm like, you might can do it. You might can pull it off. So he pulled off with his friend in the car and I'm like, no. I said, who is that? Like, this is my friend, don't worry about it. I said, so you pulling up on me like this now? He said, yeah, I got your number. He takes off in the car. He didn't come back. And I told my friend, I was like, man, don't stay here tonight. I was like, I don't want no trouble. He was like, it ain't gonna be no trouble. I'm not scared of your husband. And I'm like, and I'm married, but I'm not caring that I'm married. I'm just caring that I'm delivered from that relationship for torment. I mean, like we didn't go out much. We didn't do much of nothing. This man always was up and down the streets. It was like he moved me out of my hometown into a 500 and some miles away in South Carolina, leave me there. And I mean, I went through a lot with that man. So it was Sunday morning. He calls. He said, I'm about to bring the kids. I was like, oh, here we go. I was like, Greg, he about to bring the kids. You can go ahead and get your clothes on. Because we lived it like Penderboro to Mullins, South Carolina. It was like a good 15 to 20 minute stretch. So I was like, go ahead and get your clothes on, move on. He come. He was like, no, I'm not. He said, if he come, he have to see me here. So he called. He said, I'm on my way. So him and the kids was on their way. He bringing me the kids now. I want you need your kids. That's what he said. You need your kids. I said, why I need my kids? I'm not ready and stable yet. I don't care. You need your kids. So good evening, son. Good evening. Emily Locks. So sitting there and I'm like, Greg, get your clothes on because he's coming and I don't want no issues. So he kept saying, I'm not going nowhere. He said, if I go, you go. I was like, but he bringing the kids. He said, well, let him bring the kids. I said, you must dealt with something like this before. He have. He know how those type of men are. All right. He bring the kids. He knocks on the door. And I'm scared to death, y'all. I was scared to death because I knew what he did to me before. And I'm saying to myself, I said, Nicole, where's the knife? I said, because I'm telling you right now, this man come to kill. He not playing. And she knew how he was. So she was like, Greg, he come in. She had her little booth there too. And I was like, he gonna beat everybody up. He ain't hitting on me this time. So I'm at the door and I was like, what's beside? I'm looking at, them trailers got little diamond shaped windows. So I'm looking out the blind. I said, what's that beside you? He said, open the door, Siobhan. And I'm scared. I'm 28 years old then. So I was a runner. And I said, I'm not opening the door. Why are the kids in the car? I said, let the kids out the car and I'll open the door. And I knew he was up to something. He said, oh, you don't want to open the door? He had a bat. He knocked the window out and he let his arm through that window. Man, I took off like lightning. Pew! I said, Greg, I told y'all he coming to fight. He coming to take this house out. I went out and he opened the back door. I had on a red lingerie with three bow in the back of them. It was three ribbons in the back of them, a clear lingerie. He already knew what time it was. He said, and you sleeping with him? Y'all, I'm laughing now because I'm looking at this picture like, man, I was in a serious situation. He said, Siobhan, I'm going to kill you. This no lie. He swung the bat and it hit the trailer wall. And y'all know trailers are very sensitive. He put a hole in the wall. I'm cutting all that furniture. I got to the back door. This no lie. I missed all three steps. When I missed all three steps, I fell in a pothole. That bat said, whoa, you could hear the wind coming across my head and you could just hear the noise. Whoa. And I was like, whoa, I looked back, I got up, I took off. Now, the kids by then was out the car, inside the house hollering, Daddy, Daddy, that's all I heard. I jumped in the car, went on that back road of Orleans to the police station. Right there, it's a jailhouse and a police station in Marion, South Carolina on Highway 74. I'm on Highway 74 going to the police station. I need an officer at the house right now. It's going down. He got a bat, da-da-da-da. I take off the 74 and go in town to PD Circle, Marion, South Carolina, PD Circle. That's where his brother lived. I was rolling. I said, come get your brother. Your brother, he acting up. He got a bat. He said, I ain't going around there. It's on G. That's what they used to call him. It's on G. I don't want to see my wife. Is she there with a man? I said, yeah, but you got to get him because he get ready to act up. He said, I ain't coming. I'm done with it. I'm done with it all. Now, these are quartet singers in the gospel. They sung quartet music. They gospel singer. He talking about another woman. He got another woman, and he worried about if his wife got another man, which both of them were just doing each other dirty. So I get back to the house. I look up, everybody looking like this. Everybody like this. The kids crying. And I'm like, what have happened? My friend, he's standing by the sink with his back like this, standing up. I said, Greg, what's up? I said, what is all this blood dropping? What's this blood dropping in the, what's this blood come from? I'm thinking it's him. So I'm wondering where my kid's father at because I had the car. So all the other cars are there. So where's the blood? It didn't click. So my oldest son said, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. That's why daddy hates you. I hate you. I hate you. I was like, I'm not listening to him at the moment. I said, just shut up. You just shut up. So my other two crying, daddy, 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 daddy in the ambulance. Daddy and the rescue squad came and got daddy. I said, came and got daddy. What's up? My friend say, he cut his face open. He cut his face from here to there. His face got cut wide open. And they say, Nicole, she said, Siobhan, when he cut G face open. Said G got to the door and was like, "That's my wife. I told you that's my wife." But he wouldn't move anymore, and he had lost so much blood that he had collapsed. They had took him to Marion Hospital right there on Highway 74, not too far from where I was, and they had to glue his face back together. That's how he got back here. I had called up there. I was like, "Can I speak to Giat to see if he okay?" They was like, "He in surgery. He had to have immediate surgery. I guess to glue his face back." So the next day, I called. I said, "Can I speak to Giat Cornish?" So I called him. He said, "I hate you, and I hope you die." And I was like, "You hope I die? Didn't I tell you we went together? You broke into the house. I hate you. I hope you die." I already knew he was gonna try to blame me for his foolishness. So there go the family. They calling me, "Oh, Siobhan, this and that." And I was like, the sisters, I was like, "Y'all already know. We're not even gonna play that game. You already know how your brother was. It was fine when your brother was around here doing what he wanted to do, busting me in my head, choking me, kicking me all in my face. But now he got a dose of his own medicine, not by me, but to show him that he can't beat everybody in the world." I said, "So this how y'all coming? Well, so be it. This is how it's gonna be." So my oldest son and us went out, and he was just staring at me. "I hate you." I said, "Do you want to go where your daddy at? Because I'm not gonna have too many I hate yous." Satan had been already set up in him from his father towards me. So my baby boy, he wasn't only like 8 to 9 months old. So then I was in Mullins, and then I got a apartment in Dillon, South Carolina. So I went from Marion, South Carolina to Mullins, South Carolina to Dillon, South Carolina. And me and my friend, we moved in and became official boyfriend and girlfriend, fornicating. I didn't know God is nowhere near knowing him. So we lived together and we start, you know, being familiar with one another. And my kid's father was out of the picture then, but it was still issues. He said, I'm with him, and when I wanted to go home to Maryland, my friend, which now is my boyfriend, thinking that I want to go back to my hometown to see my kid's father, which he didn't know that I was over there. I already know that was too much damage to actually even go back to my kid's father at all. It was too much damage done. His face cut open. He would on a snap of a finger, because when they are very demonic like that, it's not themselves anymore. These are demons that's very active in that vessel. So when I used to go home, he got to the point where my mother and them lived in Wolford, Maryland, in a very country area. I mean, like country. He found a home right on the same road that my mother lived on. This is my kid's father, years later, found a home that my mother lived on with her boyfriend. So my mom called me one day. She said, G lived down here. I was like, what? He moved down there where y'all at? How he get a house down there? And that's the deep woods. She was like, he lived here. That's where he at. I was like, oh no. It's get ready to be we I absolutely. Absolutely. It's bad though. Absolutely. The fighting can get really bad. It is, and it's like an ongoing thing. So I understand all of that. Absolutely. It can get real bad because the neighbor's gonna start watching, people gonna start, you know what I'm saying? And this is how it was with me. Like in my community, everybody be like, "Man, you remember when I got back here this last time?" They was like, "Man, you remember G used to beat on you?" And I'd be like, "Well, you remember him used to hit on me? Why you didn't help me?" And then the ones that be wanting money and stuff, "Well, we didn't know, but you took a lot of beatings. Why you ain't help me? If you men and y'all seen this man beating on me like that, why you ain't help me? Y'all know when you hit him back, even though I hit him back, I didn't win. I wasn't scared of him, but I still didn't win. Why you ain't help me?" But anyways, my second, the one that knew I was married and still dealt with me. This is why it's not good to jump from relationship to relationship. It's best to heal. Absolutely. I left. I ain't never stayed. I took off running. I was a running fool. I was like Forrest Gump. I'm about to run. I'm gone. When it get hot like that and I know I couldn't beat him and he is 10 times stronger than me, yeah, I'm out of there. I gave it all the fight I could. But when he started, my kid's father was, them demons was very angry. They wanted me out of here. He didn't complete the mission. I'm going somewhere with all this. So, because this is very spiritual for me, for my mission. It helps me with it. It was all because of this mission right here. So he moved down there with my mother. Now the man I'm with now, we 3 years in, he have a problem with me going home now. What you going to Maryland for? Now he around his family, but when it's time for me to go around my family or go home to Maryland, now he can create an issue. And I'm like, man, am I in another relationship where y'all feel like y'all can control me? I'm not being controlled by nobody. There go a mosquito. God dog it. I'm not getting controlled by nobody. Now you're trying to control me now? This is where we're going at with this? So me and him riding one day, and I'm like getting the car, a oil change and getting the car serviced. We had what is it? Mitsubishi. Black Mitsubishi. Nice car too. We driving and I'm like, he giving me the solid treatment. Now he angry. I was like, Greg, what's up? What's wrong with you? You going with me? I don't want to go to your hometown. I was like, well, I'm in your hometown. When you ready to go over your mama house, I go with you. When you have your family outings, I go with you. Do I stop you from being around your family? So tell me why you stopping me from being around my family. We driving on Martin Luther King Boulevard in Dillon, South Carolina. This dude get an anger streak and throw the car in park. While we driving now, throw the car in park, mess the whole transmission up. So I was like, what was the point of that? What did you just do? Well, you just got the best of me. That's all. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I got another cornball. All right. Okay, so now you're gonna try to use me not going home. Well, you're going home to see your kid's father. I know you want to. This is why it's important to heal before you get into any other relationships. This is me bouncing from relationship to relationship. Satan knew that if he could have got me in one of those relationships, I wouldn't have made it here. This is energetic. These are energetic journey. This is an energetic journey. This is about energy and frequencies and the prince of the air trying to stop me from getting in my purpose. So we get to the house. Now we building a house already and we had land and we just waiting to get the other house together. So he was like, well, we got this house that we about to pay off and we got this land and we got to get certain things. And I was like, what they got to do? We got money. I'm going home to see my family, bro. Oh, no, you ain't. You going to see him. I knew it was coming. I knew it was in you. You might have been sneaking around talking to him. I was like, I know we ain't finna go here. I know we ain't finna go here. You talk to your kid's mother anytime you get ready. You go see your kid's mother anytime. He was going to High Point, North Carolina. You do all of that. So here come all of the chaos. And he was verbal. So I say, you think your words does something to me? No. And he would say all kinds of stuff. I was like, because you feel that way about yourself. I tolerate you peeing in the bed every night. I tolerate your mouthy self. Now you're trying to hit below the belt. I said, I'm not hitting below the belt. I'm telling you what's real. You are talking that way because you're not complete with yourself. I ain't got nothing to do with that, but calling and cussing me ain't gonna work. So I hit you back below the belt. You ain't got nothing to hit me with. Only thing you got to hit me with is you think I'm cheating on you and cussing me out. I said, we're not going to do that. Because if you hit me below the belt, I'm going to hit back. That's just who I am. If you don't hit me below the belt, I would never hit you below the belt. But since you want to hit below the belt and lie about what you're saying about me, I'm going to hit you below the belt and tell the truth about you. So what he do? I'm going to finish you off, which your first husband should have did. Your first husband should have finished you off. I'm going to finish you off just like I tried to finish him off. He took, and that demon was crazy. When I tell you these demons are harsh, they're harsh. He takes a knife and push me on the bed. I kick him back. He come back, and he put the knife in my face right here. I say, if you're gonna cut me open, get it over with. Don't be just here behind, like looking at me like this. I said, if you're gonna cut me open, wait a minute, y'all gotta turn the lights on. We're gonna have to move in another area too. I said, if you're gonna cut me open, cut me open. Don't sit here and tell me what you about to do and holding that knife to my face like I'm supposed to flinch. If you're gonna do it, do it. Don't play with a tool if you can't use it. I said, so if you're going to cut me, get it over with, and don't let me live. Because if I live, you got to die. This is what I told him. I wasn't afraid of him. So he eventually got off me. Then he started moving weird, laying on the bed like he was in a funeral home. I mean, I seen some stuff out of men. And I'm in the house like, let me go ahead and make my exit plan. Just be smooth about it. Make my exit plan to get out. We got into the home. He had a funeral, a family member funeral. He come back. Oh, Siobhan, I'm going to go back all week to the setting up, because that's what they call it in North Carolina, in South Carolina, setting ups, where the family get together after the deceased. So everybody is cousin. I'm going to see cousin. Okay, go see cousin. So we get a weekend. Now he want to go and hang out. I was like, oh, it's psycho. He must have met him somebody. He met him a woman. Now they're getting cold with it. I don't want you. And then I said, baby, you don't have to do all that. Go with her. I always been that type of woman. You ain't got to go through all of that. Go with her. Do what you do. Have fun. I'm out. Oh, you ain't going nowhere. We got this home together. I said, you and her can have this home. I'm going to make my exit plan. So I called my homegirl and I put pictures up there with 3 of us. We was in the club. That's when I left him and just start hanging out in the clubs a little bit. I just needed a break. Got me a house. Moved in it. Let him have that house. The house went in flames. He went around town. Oh, Siobhan burnt the house down. I was like, bro, that house ain't even that important. If it was that important, I would have burned it down before I moved out of it. I said, but the police reports and the firefighter reports will come back soon. So your lies that you telling everybody in the community that I burned the house down, it will reveal itself. It revealed itself. It was electrical. The Almighty got me out in time and the kids out in time. Him in his head, he angry because I left him. I cold turkey cut you out. I don't care how many years we together. When it's starting to get really demonic and it's getting out of control, I'm out. So we didn't last long. So 8 months later, here he come. Siobhan, I missed you. I miss you, Siobhan. I miss you. Yeah. So a little birdie came along and told me he got an insurance check. I'm being honest. And I said, no. He said, his homeboy said, yeah, he got an insurance check. And it's big too. I was like, oh, I got to get some of that money. I put my money in that house. Honey, I got to get that check. Because I had turned the house over to him, signed the deed, and signed it all over to him. I signed the deed, the house over, and the land. I said, I don't want no more parts. I don't want nothing of it. When I found out he got that insurance check, I was like, oh. The boy was like, yeah, it's big, Siobhan. It's big. I was like, oh, I got to make my get back in plan. I got to get my get back. I got to get some of that money. So he kept riding past the house. So he didn't know that I already knew. So we worked at the same job. He worked the second shift. I worked first shift. So we seen each other all the time. Now, mind you, I didn't care when I'm cold hearted and I'm frozen about you. We can walk past each other and we don't even. You can't even. You don't. You won't even exist to me. We seen each other every day. Every day he come in on second shift. I'm about to leave on first shift. So he taking over and I'm about to leave out. He drove forklifts. So this particular day he stopped by it was a big old wall. And he stopped by because I worked at the sewing factory, Franco in Dillon, South Carolina. So he stopped and his forklift was there. So he got off. And my homegirl said, Tina, the one that's in the picture, she said, Siobhan, here come Greg. I was like, I didn't even tell her what was up. So I was like, okay. He was like, can I talk to you for a minute? I was like, sure, what's up? He was like, how you doing? I was like, I'm doing great. I'm really doing good. He was like, yeah, I see you got your house and stuff. I was like, but the lies you told on me, you owe me an apology, you know. You said I burnt the house down. You told the people around the community that I burnt the house down. How the fire start? He was like, Siobhan, forgive me. Please forgive me. He was like, that's why I came over here. No, it wasn't. He was missing me. He was missing that bedroom boom. I'm gonna be honest with you. He was missing the crazy. So he said, can I take you out to dinner tomorrow? I was like, sure, yeah. He was like, where your boyfriend at? I had me a little friend. I was like, me and him done. I broke up with him. We over for it. He's like, all right. He's like, I'm gonna come take you out to dinner. So I said, yeah, let me get the kids right and stuff. So he's like, all right. He's like, they can come too. I was like, nah, I don't want to bring the kids right now. I don't want them to see that. So he got me to dinner. He was like, I got a check. He didn't show me how much. He's just like, I got a check and I want you to have some. He was like, but I just want you back with me. I was like, oh, what? In my head, I'm like, oh, he got a check. I was like, we're going to take it slow. We're going to just do it. This is what I did, though. I was like, we're going to take it slow. I don't want to move fast. So I'm in my head, as soon as I get my share, I'm out of there. I don't want you no more. I was done. I really didn't want them. I just wanted my share. So we got back together. I knew it was not gonna be. I just didn't have no feelings for that man no more. They were dried out. He was like a dried prune to me. So he trying his best. He always been that touchy, loving. I'm like, where is this mess come? I wasn't touchy and loving. So he was like, marry me. I was like, what? Marry you? I was like, I'll marry you if you want to marry me in a funeral home. I'm thinking that if I say funeral home, the man ain't gonna say yes. He was like, I'll marry you in a funeral home. Let me go to Miss Green and get the he did it though. He did it. I'm gonna go to absolutely. So he went to the funeral home and got he went to the courthouse and got the marriage license. And he went to the funeral home and paid Miss Green to marry us. So I'm like, all right, bet. All right, I got to marry this man. I put it to but this is everything I'm telling y'all. It sounds like it's physical, but it was Satan trying to stop me each time, so I wouldn't meet my twin flame or stop me from getting in my purpose. He was trying to break me in all of these areas. So we got married, and I had a friend. I didn't tell him about the friend I had. I had a friend. So while he would go on the trucks, I had my friend, but he didn't know I'm still in the cut with stuff. I wasn't wanting to get back with him. So when he got married, I told my friend, I was like, I got to marry him to get this money, brother. Okay? He was like, Siobhan, do what you got to do. He was like, but you make sure you divorce this dude here. I was like, yeah, but let me go ahead and marry him and get this check, and get up out of there. So he had his cousin the whole time spying on me because I was on first shift and he was still on second shift because I wasn't going back on second shift. I kept my same routine. So me and old boy would go out and go to the club. I'm clubbing now. I'm going to the club. He would buy me Hennessy at Players Club in Florence, South Carolina. We would go to Players Club in Florence, South Carolina, just go. We were just having fun. So his cousin was documenting every time I would go out. She would talk, she had the time, she was stalking the house. And one night he said, Siobhan, you got something you want to tell me? And I'm like, what? He's like, do you got anything you want to tell me? Because he lied to me. He said his homeboy said that he had a big lump sum. I'm going by the cousin or homeboy, whatever he was to him. They were both cousins and homeboys, named Junebug. The man ain't had much of nothing. He only got $1,500 back. So I'm like, this all you got? He was like, Siobhan, all I got was $1,500. I just didn't know how to tell you. I said, so we went through all of this. He was like, so what did you come back for? I said, man, I came back for the check. I thought you had a big lump sum. He said, he was testing me and I was testing him. So we both were setting each other up. So I wasn't mad with that. I was just mad that I went into a situation that I could have saved myself from. But his cousin had documented everything we did. So he was like, well, Saturday, you told me you were sick. You was on your menstruation. And you're supposed to have been out, okay? Sunday, you stayed out all night long. And your kids was in Marion, South Carolina with their Aunt Tina. Because she came and got them at such and such and such. I said, how you know all of that? You went way in another country. But even though he was away, he still had him a woman in Marion, South Carolina. So we both were playing each other. We both was not trusting the process. So I couldn't get mad with him because he had one up. He couldn't get mad with me because I had one up. But he still was angry because he didn't trust it. He already knew. I used to always tell him, if I leave you, I'm not going to want you. So he kept that in his head, but he was testing me and I was going back in for the money. We both got bamboozled because he didn't have the money and he didn't have me. But anyways, he said, well, I'm divorcing you for adultery. What? You divorcing me? So big. I don't want to do the paperwork. Do it. I don't care what you do. So the guy that I was dealing with, he wanted to make it official. So I was like, Jay, I don't feel like being in another relationship. I got to breathe. I said, I'm not trying to be full term with you and I'm about to get out of this with this clown here. I'm not going to do it. So he goes hysterical. Oh, you don't want me, nobody. I said, what is up with you guys with, if you don't want me, nobody else will? I said, y'all, it seemed like the devil is following me. Every time I get a guy, if you don't, nobody else will, or you can't go nowhere. I said, Jay, we've been friends. You knew I was with him. You knew about me and him getting married. You was agreeable with it. I said, so what are you doing? I want you for myself. So I'm hanging around my homegirl house, her and my Shakita. She was really cool with me. We hung out, we was working. He come over there, try to embarrass me. This is Jay, the dude that was okay with everything. I want you. What, you got another man? I said, what is up with y'all guys? Y'all just doing too much. I am free. I'm going to stay free. We were just friends. I never told you that we was going to be together. He said, Siobhan, I put everything in plan with you. I made sure that you can move in. I made the house comfortable. I got you a car. And I said, Jay, come on, really? I was like, how much do I owe you for the car? He did buy me a cash car. I said, how much do I owe you for the car? I don't want the money. It's me and you. I was like, and he's older than me. I'm at the age of 34. He was 51. I like the older guys. Now, the other guy, me and him was the same age, and my kid's father was 5 years older than me. So age difference didn't matter to me. I just wasn't going down. I went down one time. I'd never do that again. But after that, I was like, I'm moving. I'm just going to move. And I'm like, he's going to harass me. So he started harassing me. He started knocking on my windows. And then there go my ex-husband, the second one. He's sitting there stalking me. I was like, this is out of control. Both of them stalking me. So both of them was having an issue with each other because of the boat rights and the Eagles. They got a problem with each other. And his first wife left him for a boat right. So then he was like, these boat rights just keep crossing me. I was like, I ain't know nothing about no boat right. But, you know, Jerry was real popular in Dillon. I'm like, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm ready to get out of this. So that's when I met my third friend. That's the one I was with 10 years. He was like, Siobhan, you want to move to Lumberton, North Carolina? Bam, let's get it. I'm leaving everything. So Jerry had a problem with it. So Jerry flattened that man tires. We was in the house and Jerry rode past the house. These men used to put some stocking on me. Jerry flattened all that man tires on his Charger. So we come out the house. He said, somebody flattened my tires. I said, Jerry flattened your tires. I said, I know where he lived. We're going to put the police on him. See, Jerry was a pedophile. That's why I had to leave him alone. And I knew I wasn't going to bring my kids around him. I never brought my kids around these men. So I was like, thank God that I never brought my daughter around them or boys. I don't know which child he liked. But back then he had two 10-year-old girls. He was a school teacher and he molested two 10-year-old girls in the middle school. So I already knew, bam, I never moved kids around a man. So I was like, man, now I think about it, I'd be like, Heavenly Father, you blocked me from a lot of warfare that would have hurted my kids, not me. So I moved about to move to Lumberton, North Carolina. Why did this man break in my house and take all the furniture out? He took all my furniture out my house, broke in the house and took all my furniture out. When I get home to take the U-Haul to move the furniture, all the furniture gone. And I'm like, where's my furniture? Where'd the furniture go? Him and the landlord had got together and he told the landlord that I didn't live there anymore and he didn't care what I did with the furniture. So when I called the landlord, I said, somebody broke in the house and took my furniture. He gonna tell me, well, the man said that you didn't want the furniture no more, so we cleaned the furniture out. It's at my house. I said, bro, if you don't bring my furniture back, but by then I wasn't with God. I was just in the streets. I said, I'm gonna So here come the landlord. He was like, well, you owe us rent for this month. I said, I'm not paying y'all nothing. He said, well, if you don't give me my rent for this month, then I'm gonna keep the furniture. I went around the side of that truck and grabbed that man. That man started breathing real heavy. His wife started going into a shock mode. I was like, oh, I got to get up out of here. I'm going to jail. So I was like, keep the furniture. I just filed a report that y'all stole my furniture. So the next couple of days, Jerry had reached out. He was like, I'm sorry, Siobhan. You just gets the best of me. You just didn't want to give me what I need. And I'm like, why is y'all so gravitate towards me? Why is y'all so attached to me? Because when we met, we knew the agreement. I never said that I was going to spend forever with you. I never said that I was going to be with you forever. You knew that I had a person. You had a wife. We were just doing the do. You got too caught up in it. And now you want to ruin my life? Like, why is y'all trying to ruin my life? So Jerry was like, Siobhan, because you're different. You out of all the women I met, you just something different about you. You're wild, you're crazy, and you're courageous. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but anyways, I'm not thinking about none of that. I'm just, yes, he just didn't want, I was just one of them women that I jumped through your window to be with you. I was just crazy. Like, my sex drive is exotic. So it was the entertainment sexually, because this is the only relationships I really wanted with them. The sex entertainment was entertainment. I would jump through the windows. We'll jump through the car. I hang out the car window. I just did whatever I felt to do. We were riding down the road, and I'm gonna be very honest. Oh, we were coming from the club one night. I was ripped. Hennessy down in my throat. I was lit that night. And my kids was with their auntie too. And I say, golly. Absolutely. He will. He will. Now, I promise you, the Almighty is wonderful. But we were riding down the road, and I never forget, we was coming down 74. I say, Jerry, he had a Honda. That Honda was nice. It had the little chrome rims, and, you know, he was nice looking, personal trainer, still not knowing he was a pedophile at that time. I said, Jerry, I said, we're going to try something tonight on this highway. He said, what we going to do, Siobhan? I said, I'm going to come over there and I'm going to get on it. Y'all already know what I'm talking about. He driving. I come over there. I had on a jean dress that night. I lift my jean dress up and got on it. He driving while we doing the thing on the highway now. He driving. That man lost his When I tell you I was a woman that didn't care how I tried, whatever I tried, I did whatever I did. And that field, lust was just, I was exotic. I just wanted to try living on the edge things. And that man just could not fathom the things that I used to do. And he was like, I never experienced this with no woman. So that drove his little pride and his ego, like, I'm not letting you go. They were more sexually attracted to me and my personality than anything. They already knew it wasn't going to be a commitment, but still, my sexuality was through the roof. I had a very high sex drive, like very high. Like we were down for whatever. I was going to be on somebody's milk carton if I played around too much. No, I couldn't go on TV. I had chilling now. But I would just do stuff like that. So that blowed that man's mind sexually because he had a very strong sex demon. So as we start dating, I used to go over to his house and I was like, why SpongeBob is on your bed? And I'm curious because I ain't never been in his house. So I'm like, why SpongeBob is on your bed? Why you got children? Yes. I said, why you got SpongeBob curtains on your windows? He was like, it's for my children. I was like, that's weird though. You a full-blown 50-some-year-old man with SpongeBob on your bed? I was like, your son? I mean, you got a bedroom for your kids, right? He was like, yeah, but you know, my kids just love SpongeBob. I was like, on your bed though? On your bed? And now I'm curious because now I always could discern. So that was my first time in his house because like I said, I would never go in his house. We would either go to a hotel or, you know, after the club, we do something exotic. So when I did go into his house, I'm like, SpongeBob though? So now I'm curious in my mind. I always could discern. I didn't know that's what you called it. So I went home and I said, Vaughn, that's my daughter. I said, can you go to school and ask them, can you type out all the pedophiles in Dillon, South Carolina for me? She was like, why, Mom? I was like, don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later. We'll all have a discussion because I always had meetings with my children, especially when it come to men. No men couldn't be around my kids. So she was like, Jerry, dude. I was like, yeah, somewhat, Dad, but I'll tell you about it later. I said, if you see him, I showed her a picture of him. I said, if you see this guy on that profile or on that website, please print him out for me. I had a funny feeling. Well, it was my discernment was right. She came home from school. She said, Mom, she ran in the house. She said, Mom, yes, it is. Yes, look, this is him. He had just updated his probation for, I guess, being a pedophile. You know, they have to have updates every year, the pictures and, you know, he on the website. I was like, oh, I got real sick to my stomach. I was like, no. I'm hurting now, everything just went out the window. I was like, I wonder what happened. So the homegirl that is in the picture, that was the one that I moved with when I moved out from my second. And I said, Tina, ask me a question. I said, did y'all all know that Jerry was a pedophile? She said, we didn't know how to tell you, Siobhan. So y'all all knew in this community, at this job, everybody knew that this man was a pedophile, and y'all knew I got kids. How about I was a messy woman? And how about if I never went to that man's house, or I let that man come in my house, he would have got my daughter. So she was like, Siobhan, we saw. I was like, no, there is, you're supposed to be my homie. But you knew that man was a pedophile. I said, so might as well throw it all on the table. Who did he mess with? 2 10-year-old girls in grade school. He was a teacher. And the way, now this is how the Almighty, man, that's crazy. But the way the Almighty was getting me to watch the patterns, when I was exotically jumping from the passenger seat and messing with him on the driver's seat while he driving, the 2 little girls, when the class was on recess or whatever, he'll call one of them in, and he would sit in the chair on the desk and he would mess with her. 10 years old. 10. That hurt my heart so bad. I was like, no way. No way. No way. No way. Now me and her can't even be cool no more because you held this secret, and that is very deep. If you knew it and you held it, what I look like? What else would you hold from me? And you knew that this was more dangerous than anything in the whole entire world. So I had to let her go as a co-worker and as a buddy. I didn't put her in friend status because I got to get to know you. That's why it's best to get to know people. So I'm looking like, man, there go another female, another one bite the dust. Let me go ahead and let her go. I'm just done with that. I don't even want to make friendships no more, because that could have been my children. Yes, that could have been my kids. She knew the whole time. All the women knew the whole entire time. But they didn't care because they wanted him. So being as though he chose me, they got big mad. So I guess they said, well, he chose you, I'm going to let him get her daughter or her sons for that fashion. He probably went both ways. So I'm like, oh, y'all all shady. Everybody shady here. I don't even want to work here no more. So here he come in the job. Well, I'm going to tell, at that time, you know, my husband was working trucks, and yes, it'd be absolutely. And I'm like, if y'all wanted him, y'all could have had, man, you could have shared him with me. I was in the world, so I wasn't focused on this dude here like that. I was just getting me. I had demons I had to feed. I can say that like down, but I had a desire and a fantasy I was fulfilling. I wasn't attached to old boy like that. He was just a fun dummy. I mean, I'm being honest about it. He was just a fun dummy. I was just loose. You get what I'm saying? I just was having fun with my lustful demons. I can put it like that now. So I told Tina, I was like, man, we can't even be cool no more, bro. I don't even know what to say to you anymore. This job, all the females at this job, I don't even know what to say to y'all anymore. We ain't even cool like that no more. He come in the job. My husband didn't know, my second husband. We were only married 7 months. We was only married 7 months. He said, well, when he come, I'm going to tell him, me and you been seeing each other for almost a year. Yes. Yes, they will. Yes, they will, sis. They will do it again. I said I'm not going to give her that authority. I mean, I'm not going to give her that next move, because it might be something more severe than that. So he come to the job. We were still working together. He say, and this how we got fired that day. He said, I'm going to tell your husband when he come that me and you been seeing each other over a year. I said, over a year? You gonna really do me like that, Jay? That's over. You got kids. You done mess with kids. I didn't mess with kids. They lied on me. That is not true. I got falsely accused. I said, so why you go to jail for it then? Here go the whole report right here. What? No, Jay. No. Jay. That's a lie. They lie. In my head, I'm like, here go this demon. Here go this demon. He said, well, I'm going to wait right here. When he pull up, I'm going to tell him everything. I'm like, oh man, y'all just be putting me out here, right? I was like, Jay, really? He meant it. He was going to tell it. I was like, what can we do to settle this? All he was attached to was my cooter. That's all he was attached to was my cooter. Be honest. I'm always keep it 1,000. That's all he was attached to was my private area, my cooter. That's what he asked me. You'll give me some? I said, that's what you want. And I want it right here. I said, at the job, Jay, right here. You've been doing it. You've been exotic. What's now? I said, so if I give it to you, Jay, you ain't going to tell. You're going to leave. You're going to be a good guy. You're going to be a good boy. Yeah, I'm going to be good. Talk to him exotic. So I'm talking to him exotic. I'm in my soul. I'm dropping down. I'm giving myself 25 push-ups because I'm done with this. End up, got caught up. Walked in my office. Thought that the door was locked. Walked right in my office. Boom. Both of us fired. So now I got to tell my 7-month husband that it's over for him. And it's, the Almighty always killed two birds with one stone. He split the whole thing up. So my 7-month husband come up. He said, what's up, Siobhan? I said, I'm sitting there, my heart in my back. I say, I got fired. He said, fired, Siobhan? I said, yeah, I got to find another job. He said, Siobhan, how did you get fired? What happened? I said, let's get home. Let me go. I said, stop me to the store. Let me go buy me a 6-pack of Smirnoff Ice and we'll talk about it. I said, you want a beer? He said, I don't drink like that. He said, but if you going this route, I want a beer. So we get to the house and he sit there and he looking at me. He said, talk to me, Siobhan. I said, you're not going to be mad? He said, no. I said, promise me. I said, you got to promise me. And because you don't break your promises to me. He said, I promise. I said, you ain't saying that and going to be mad with me. He said, I promise. I said, I got fired for getting caught having sex. Oh, my goodness. That wasn't pretty. That wasn't pretty. Yes, the smell. Yes, Miss Candace. Yes, you know that Smirnoff Ice with the red top. That was some good wine coolers there, boy. Oh yes. That was my favorite back when I was, and I was just starting to drink at the age of 34. Y'all gonna have to ride with me. I'm gonna have to move around for a minute and getting some light. Yes, them Smirnoff Ices with the red top. Man, them was some good old drinks. They taste like punch, but they had a big old kick to them. Y'all gonna have to ride with me. I'm gonna have to get out this part because it's dark. Ain't no light here like that. Yes, Miss Candace, them was some good old Smirnoff. Yeah. I was just starting to drink. I waited till the age of 34 to start drinking wine coolers. Because I always said I wasn't going to never drink because of my family members were alcoholics. I always used to say that. But I ended up starting to do the Smirnoff Ice. He sat there and he said, Siobhan. He said, tell me that you're lying to me. I said, Greg, I wished I could. But I'm not. I got caught having sex at the job. What? He wasn't physical. He never, ever put his hands on me. Never. So I already knew that I didn't have to worry about, him hitting on me. He never, the whole entire time. He was verbal, which that didn't bother me because I can say some words back too. But physically, I knew he wasn't going to never put his hands on me. He never hit me a day in my life as we were together in that relationship. So I wasn't worried about that. Because if he was physical, he would have bended that. So I was like, he ain't gonna hit me. So he just sat there and he started screaming. He was like, Siobhan, I loved it you. I was like, do you? I don't even love me right now. I was like, I'm making so many mistakes in my life right now. I was like, I am just playing Russian relay with my life right now. And I was like, I don't know where I want to be right now. I'm all over the place. I'm from man to man to man to man to man. I'm getting out of one relationship. Nobody won't let me breathe. And I told him what happened and how I got bribed because I didn't want him to know. And then he said, well, I already knew. He said, my cousin was documenting when you go out to the club, when Jerry would pick you up. He was like, I already knew. So I was like, all this time you already knew? He was like, I was waiting for you to tell me. He was like, but, it's no big thing. He's like, but Siobhan, at the job, and he found the love letters. His sister worked with me. So when I got fired, they gave her the letters and the pictures and stuff. That man had wrote me so many love letters. That man he was a poet. So the love letters he wrote me, I wasn't lovable. So I'm like, when I'm reading them, I'm like, man, he had really had a lot of poetic love letters. Like, he really knew how to write love letters. So my ex-husband, second, 8 months in then, 8-month ex-husband, when I got home, because I had went out to get another job, that's how I got the job for the military. So I was like, I got a job. And I knew it was over. He said, this man was deeply in love with you. I said, that man ain't in love with me. I said, where'd you get that bright idea from? He said, my sister Tanya got all your stuff and they gave it to her to bring it to you, to bring it to you. I was like, so if they gave it to her to bring it to me, why is you in my stuff? That was my box. They cleaned the box out and cleaned the office out and gave the box to her to give to me. How did you get it? You're not Siobhan. I said, y'all, everybody always had a big thing of going in my stuff. Big boundary. I was like, but you went in my box. He was like, Siobhan, all of these letters that this man had written you, all of these poems that this man had written you, and this is, wait a minute. And he started reading the stuff, and I was like, oh, goodness. His heart was in the floor. He was crushed. He was like, this man was madly in love with you. I was like, he's not in love with me. He's in lust with me. He's not in love with me. He can't be in love with me. I'm not even in love with me. I'm just all over the place. So I said, I need some time. So I went back home to Maryland. Because I know if I went back home to Maryland, that he would leave the house, and because I wasn't coming back until he left. That's how the water and the sewer and the electricity got turned off, because before he left, and when I came back December on Christmas, that's how the water and the lights and the power got cut out on me. So he was angry, and then he had cut all the pictures up and put them in a box, and he had cut his face, because one of the poems had his face on it, and he had cut a Zorro. I'm laughing now, but he had cut a Zorro in the picture, and I'm like, here he go with the witchcraft and the voodoo crap, I guess. So we split up. We never interacted with each other from that point on. None of us. So Jay went his separate way, and Greg, which was my 8-month husband, went his separate way. And that's how I got with the guy in Dillon, South Carolina. I mean, Lumberton, North Carolina, the last man I was with for the 10 years. That's how I got with him. And he's supposed to only been a one-night stand, because I supposed to have got myself together and got my life on track, but it took another turn. It took another wrong turn. He was military, and getting with him, we were more like friends than anything. But Jerry harassed him. He just wouldn't let it go, and that's when he sliced his tires, and that's when we end up moving to Lumberton. And then that's when I lived the 10 years with him. And trying to wait till 8:45, y'all, because I got to go over TikTok at 9. And that's when everything went downhill. And my life just was going in circles. Like, I'm like, every time I move an inch, I get knocked back 20 foot. If I go an inch, I'm knocked back 30 feet. So I'm like, okay, my life inside of me, I'm like, I'm trying to fit in these relationships, and these relationships are not satisfying. I'm not satisfied. I'm not here. You know, I'm here, but I'm existing in physical, but spiritually, I'm not here. So my children got involved when we moved to Lumberton. I'm like, okay, I don't want my kids to see no more of this. We're going to get a home and we're going to do good. That's when Satan went for the kids. I guess Satan said the men can't get it done. I'm going to use the children. I guess the children to get it done. And with my daughter, y'all seen on my post where it's my picture and me and 4 other pictures is my daughter. When my daughter got on them drugs, my daughter slept with my boyfriend, my kids, not my kid's father, my ex, the last one I was with. Both of them was on drugs. She never told me, so they slept together. She confessed everything before she, after she passed. Not after she passed, but about a year and a half before she passed away. And she had confessed about it. And I told her, I was like, it's cool, though. I'm not mad with you. Because I already knew that was coming. Y'all both was doing the same thing. I knew y'all knew something when I found the crack pipe in the house. Everybody tried to blame it on his cousin, Little Wody. I was like, I knew a lot, Bonnie. So she started getting really angry, cussing me out. I mean, I went through a lot with my kids, too. I can talk about it now. Cussing me out and, you don't care and da-da-da-da. And then a day later, she'll call me, Mom, I'm sorry. I love you. I'm like, this is not normal. This is not normal. I say, everybody I touch, I'm always getting cursed, or I'm always getting betrayed, or I'm always getting turned on. I say, y'all too? Y'all my kids? I'm sorry, Mom. Please forgive me. I forgive you. You're my child. You're on drugs. I understand. So she start using me financially. So here come a baby boy in prison. He hooks up with a 33-year-old. All this is all at one time. After that, all of them are gone. The kid's father, he died. My second one, I don't know where he is. I haven't talked to these people in years. I mean, years. Once I'm gone, I'm gone. I don't believe in that going back and checking in and seeing how your family doing. They were gone. So this is when I got awakening in 2019. So my daughter, Satan started using my kids in 2020. When the Almighty separated me from my kids in 2019 to move here, I'm thinking that I'm coming back to get on my feet, make a clean start. This is where the warfare picked up. I never seen in my whole entire life. I would never wish anybody to go through this type of journey. Ever. Ever. But I know the Almighty don't waste pain. The pain that I endured from 7 till 49 to now, the pain that I had to transmute and the pain that I had to absorb to turn into purpose, it was very painful. But I got the job done. I got it done. I stayed obedient. I stayed faithful. It was very traumatizing at times. It was very draining at times. It was many days that I just cried rivers. I mean, before I even got on this platform and started talking to anybody, it was many days that I just wanted to quit because I didn't understand converting over into the spiritual realm, because the way the world explains energies and frequencies is not the way the Almighty do things. So I'm like, well, what is going on? I don't understand. The world is moving. So as I'm going through all these transformations, my kids, Satan using my kids heavy. So my baby boy, he's hit me with cash apps. My daughter hit me with cash apps. My grandkids hit me with cash apps. My brother, that's a drug dealer, he need money on his books. So I had a lump sum of money to start getting whatever. So I'm like, y'all, I got to get an apartment. I can't keep helping all of y'all. But Satan knew I loved my family dearly. So as I got all my cash apps. I always keep receipts. So I'm like, man, I got my grandkids. It's only me. So my daughter called me. She's like, Mom, I'm in the hospital. I was like, what's up? She was like, they shot me in my chest with something. I'm still naive to it. I'm not understanding. I'm like, girl, did you hit the wrong drug? What's up? But she never explained it to me. They always have to explain. Anybody that is got full-blown demons, and what I mean by full-blown demons, when them demons are extremely strong in them, they're no longer themselves. They're now moving by darkness. They're energetically dark. So she was like, I need money. I need this. I need money for medication. Satan knew what my kids was my love. Satan knew that I'll go far and beyond for them children. So I'm giving all this money out. I'm giving hundreds, not 20, 30. I'm giving 100, 150, 200, 500. My son, I'm giving him 150, 220, 300. So everything coming out my bank account, but nothing going back in. The more I work, the more they come around somebody need. This is my family now working Satan working on me through my family. My mother, she coming at me. She got another girl or girls that she behind my back talking about them. I don't love her. I don't care for her. I didn't come down while she was having surgery. It was just so much going on in all of the awakening. So I'm looking at these women that's just looking at me sideways. And I'm like, now I'm just coming from North Carolina, just losing everything. My son just getting locked up. My daughter falling out. They using me. I'm coming through. I'm drained. And I'm like, I'm coming back to Maryland to get a break. I'm thinking I'm getting ready to get a break. I'm thinking, things get ready to ease up for me. The warfare got lit. I mean, the fire turned up. My son, he keep getting put in a hole. He keeps stabbing people in the prisons. They keep calling me. He in a hole, but the janitor calling me on the phone. Cash app, cash app, cash app, cash app. Summer package, $150. Cash app, cash app, cash app, cash app. The fall package, $150. Cash app, cash app, cash app, cash app. The winter package, $150. That's when you can go online and get them all kinds of food or whatever. Money going down the drain. Boom, boom, boom. Daughter, mom, me and such together. Can you cash at me to such and such? So her cash apps kept getting shut down. So she went up under a lot of other names. So I'm saying, what you doing, baby? What's going on? I'm good, mom. I'm good, mom. All alone, she just falling out in North Carolina, falling out all through Lumberton, or on 74. She falling out. She's on East Side. East Side is where Dobson Street is. All them little houses over there on the corner. So her friend Henrietta, she was like, Vaughn fell out today. I'm thinking falling out mean you just got too high. I didn't know overdose meant you're dying. Like you're losing your life. So she ended up calling me in jail. Mom, I'm in jail. What you in jail for? I stole a Mexican car and I put them on a high-speed chase and put the police on a high-speed chase, and they taser me, and I need some money to get on my books. I'm not catching a break. These are my kids. I'm always riding for my kids. I'm not knowing I'm riding for demons and my kids. Their addictions were so strong. Satan had got really full in their life. So by then, I'm like, the Almighty's starting to slow my finances down. I'm crying because when they're asking me now, I'm overgiving because I'm wounded. I'm protecting because I'm wounded. I'm not trying to reject them because I was rejected. I'm not trying to abandon them because I was abandoned. So now I'm operating not off of being healed, but I'm operating off of non-healed, suppressed, decades and decades after decades after decades pain. So I'm running off of fumes from wounds. So I'm trying to be there for them every chance I get because my mother wasn't. I didn't know my father, so their father died. I'm taking sympathy cards and I'm giving, and what I mean by sympathy cards, spiritually. So all these emotions running wild for my kids, but my kids wasn't my kids. My kids was demons. And my kids broke me. My family broke me. Then they betrayed me. Then they humiliated me. Then they sabotaged. It got ugly. Then my mother started telling people I didn't love. It was real ugly in the community. And I'm like, man, I was like, y'all putting me on through this? My daughter, blah, blah, blah. I mean, she used to get angry, cuss me out. I was like, don't call me no more. My baby boy. I said, don't you call my phone no more. I'm not accepting no more collect calls. I'm not dealing with y'all ever again. renege. They come back. We love you, Mom. We sorry. Give in. Same scenario. Give in. Do me in again. Some days they'll hold it in the road. So it got so bad with my baby boy. When he want to take off, he'll take off with somebody inside the hole, because normally he can get drugs while he's in a holding cell back there. So I called the warden. And I said, why is they getting drugs in the jailhouse? How is they getting drugs in the jailhouse? I'm reporting y'all to Raleigh. They shut the prisons down. Now they put in more metal detective. Now when the CEOs come in, they all got to strip and walk through that little robot like everybody else. So the Almighty showed me this. The system got a lot of loopholes in it. So when I go see my son the last time, he was in chains. His whole body was chained up. He was wrapped up in chains. I said, what in the world is going on? He looking at me. Eyes black, they dark. I said, you're not healed. You still have demons on you. And he looking at me like this. Yeah, I read the Bible now, and I was tormented. See, he didn't know that I powered up while he was in the hole for 1.5 years. He didn't know I could see. And I say, you ain't healed, baby. He was like, I'm healed. So one of the officers called his name, Cornish. He looked down. I could see the spirits. I said, oh, there you is, murdering spirit. He looked back at me. He said, what did you say? I said, oh, I was talking to your murdering spirit. He's still there. My son, this is my child. This is my son. But now he's no longer my son. My son made a pass at me in the visitation. He said, oh, Mom, your leg's getting thick. I said, what did you say? He said, you're getting thick. I said, what you mean? Why are you looking down there at my area right there? You don't even belong up. Your head belong up here. I said, why would you even look at me like that? He's like, oh, Mom, I'm just saying. I said, no. I say, that lust demon, that murdering spirit, and every spirit in you, I rebuke out of you. I say, and I will not be back to see you again until you really get your life together. They moved him to the other prison. I haven't spoke to my son since that day to this day. When they are in portals like this, children or no children, relationships or no relationships, demons are just demons. My son is no longer looking at me as his mom. And that devastated me. And I would pray. And when on my way back from North Carolina, I cried. Because I was like, Satan has taken over my 2 sons. Now I got this one son talking about, Mama, he ain't never talked to me like that. And I said, that is out of order. That is out of order. You okay with yourself? Is you all right? Because that is crossing the whole line. Mom, marry me. I need you. What is you talking about? You're my son. This is the spiritual warfare that I had to endure. And I told him, I said, I can't talk to you right now. You need major spiritual cleansing. And I haven't talked to him since. He wrote me letters, and y'all know the little story with the letters or whatever, but it's more to tell. But I got to go. I love y'all, and thank y'all all for coming up. But it's more to talk about. I'll be all over the world with my messages, but excuse me, that is what I had to endure. Majority of it. That ain't even half. But when it's energetic, this is a spiritual world. Our physical is the reason why. Thank you all for coming up, baby cakes. This physical is a lot of people downfall, because a lot of people can't see beyond the flesh. Now that I'm fully awakened and I'm fully in my purpose, I see Satan for who he is. And when he touched my children, and for my baby boy that developed that lust demon, because y'all know in them prisons, that's all they do is whack themselves. Whack on whack, and y'all know what I mean by whacking. That's all they just, all night, all day. That's all he just engaged in it. And he kept saying, I said, well, what you do with the money on that I put on your books? He said, buy snacks and oil. Snacks and oil. Oh, okay. We're not going to talk about that. I was like, but that thing going to get so, and this is what I told him. I said, don't let that demon get so carried away, that lust demon gets so carried away on you. You start seeing a man as a woman. Oh, Mom. I said, no. You are locked up and you got 9 more years to go. And if that demon is that active, that lust demon that active in your life, don't let it get so deep where you start seeing a man as a woman. And I said, I'm going to leave you with that. And I love you. I said, but don't you ever cross me again like that. And he said, I love you. And he just, I could tell he's psychologically, energetically, spiritually is not there anymore. My son ain't there no more. Satan has took that vessel over. He indulged in witchcraft. He sent me some bracelets that I threw him in the trash because I don't do witchcraft. I'm not going to mess with voodoo. And when the Almighty gave me the revelation that those beads were spiritual and he had witchcraft on them to put around my neck to protect me, no. So just understand, it can get deep and your kids can be your #1 enemy. Because Satan going to use whatever he can to keep you from moving forward. Okay? I love y'all. Thank y'all all for coming up. We'll talk later. I got to go over here on TikTok real quick. I got to stand up because they feel like it's 78, 85 degrees in this car. I got to go, y'all. And I got it on AC with the heat temperature on. But I love you. Thank you all for coming up. Y'all all have a blessed night. And I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And see you later.